And, well, folks, we're going to get into that. We'll get into the SmackDown episode from Friday in a little bit, but Forbidden Door was indeed last night. It got reported, because I guess I was indeed at the show last night. It's not that far away from where I live, so I decided to take the show in. And I didn't get to stay for the whole thing. I did finish up watching it later on. Shout out to my friends at Triller TV and Busted Open for making that happen. But I liked being there live. That was my first AEW show live in the building, as you kind of might expect, since I was working somewhere else and I wasn't going to put on a mask and go to a show. And believe me, people in WWE actually did that. But I was happy to take it in, be in the crowd. It was fun. I was there for the majority of the show and was able to watch the rest. And let's get into it. So 0 Hour, which was a 4-person panel of RJ, Renee, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Rocky, makes sense for Forbidden Door as the liaison. Not a lot of talking on 0 Hour. Did they? You guys got to tell me. I think there was 5 matches on 0 Hour. Did they show Fletcher and was it Serpentico? Did they show that on the 0 Hour? I didn't know if that was a dark match or not. I think they did, but it was a wrestling heavy 0 Hour. And I do want to note they did a really good job with the Mariah May Saraya match. Because Mariah, I think, needed to win because it was the Owen. That was important. It's a big win considering Saraya. Is it Saraya or Saraya? I mean, I apologize. I should know that. But I thought they did a good job with that for 2 reasons. Mariah needs to go on a bit of a run because I think, I'll say it again, the person to take the AEW Women's Championship off Toni Storm should be Mariah May. And man, has she gotten better. I am very impressed with her as an overall package, from presentation to how she plays off Mina to how she plays off of Toni. Her stuff in the ring is good, and it didn't look out of place for her to win last night. And then what did they do? At the top of the ramp, they sell to the pay-per-view. Exactly what a pre-show should do. Sell to the pay-per-view. That's what, for those who may not know, that's what Sunday Night Heat was supposed to be. They started that leading into SummerSlam 1998. It was basically a hype-up show for SummerSlam 98, and they kept it around. And obviously, it would go through different iterations, and it became the B show of sorts, or even the C show at times, I guess you would say, and it didn't matter. It's kind of what I'd say it was maybe a step below. It's probably a little step below it's probably a step below Rampage. I guess at the end, that's what it was. But Heat was a warm-up for SummerSlam 98. And then, halftime heat and all that other stuff happened. But it was used to push to the pay-per-view. Like, famously, Rumble 90... What am I thinking of? Rumble 98? Rumble 99. So Rumble 99 was Foley, Mankind, and Rock, I Quit. And that is where Mankind says, I will never say those words, you twit. I will never say those words, I quit, I quit, I quit. And Shane's doing commentary, and he goes, thank you very much, Mick. Why? Because they used that recording for Rock to win the match. So once again, there was a piece of storyline that led right into the pay-per-view. And they did that last night with Mariah. There was that pull-up. She wins, and Mina and Toni have that pull-apart. Toni with the curlers and the Stardom tracksuit was fantastic. She is, I will say, if in person, because of the black and white, it looks like she's in black and white when you see her. That's how much light makeup she has on. It adds to it in the best way possible. We'll get to her match, but a really good job using a 0 Hour match to go into and push towards the pay-per-view. So we get into that. They open the show with MJF and Hechicero. Big pop for MJF, and I understood why he opened the show. I understood getting that pop. why this match took place. Obviously, it was kind of made for him. If you want to believe that, maybe MJF got to pick his opponent, all that stuff. I was a little surprised about the pacing of this match. It didn't go 10 minutes. A lot of submission stuff. And I think both of them can do that kind of stuff. That's obviously not as much of an MJF thing, although he can do it. But MJF's a really good worker when the boots are on and when the situation calls for it. Like that babyface run at the end of the year with the kangaroo kick and all the gaga. It wasn't the time for that. And it just felt like this was the kind. It might have worked better elsewhere in the card. I get the big pop. I get MJF going over to open the show. He's in front of his hometown fans. He crowd surfs. He's over. Look, he's still over. So as much as I think a lot of us would like to see heel MJF, and maybe that's coming down the line, certainly a lot of tease with Ospreay. If he's getting cheered, you probably got to go with it for now. Any return of that magnitude with somebody that popular and that over in general and that well known, you're going to get the big pop for the return. He was coming back as a babyface anyway because he attacked Cole, and he's still getting cheered. So I get what they're doing. I just wonder if that would have been placed better in the show. Maybe if they had a chance to do it again, would they put it somewhere else just based on the type of a match it was? To me, it reminded me of Punk and Kojima last year. Fun match on paper. You knew who was winning. It got the star on the show. What I actually liked was that it felt like while it was a pay-per-view match, it was pushing forward to what's going on outside of that match. What's going on Wednesday with Garcia and Ospreay? What could be going on down the road with maybe MJF and Ospreay? I am a big fan of AEW not keeping people in tunnel vision. Well, this is my feud, and I only focus on that person. They've done a pretty good job with that, whether it be Swerve getting teased with Elite, whether it be, battling them, whether it be MJF, Hechicero is in the match. That's the match, but he's talking to Daniel Garcia. He gets interrupted by Ospreay. He's watching the main event. He should be. Makes those matches matter more, too. And he won. I'll tell you what, that teardrop brainbuster, he should stick with that, and they should sell the shit out of that move because it looked beautiful. And I'll tell you why they should sell that move big and the damage it can do when we get to Ospreay and Swerve later on. So there's a tease. Also, here's a tease. Go subscribe at thewrestlingmatshow.com if you have not done so yet, because we're here every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We are here every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And once again, if you're just joining us, Super Chats between now, Tuesday, and Wednesday, get recognized immediately. Your question gets answered immediately, or comment, or whatever. And you will be entered to win a Jeff Jarrett signed figure. So, Super Chats are available. Also, we will be having subscription tiers, pay subscription tiers, and what will be available those in the coming days. So stay tuned for that. Moving on, though, Elite versus Acclaimed. It kind of just felt there. I was happy to. I will never be mad about seeing Okada and Tanahashi. I will say I appreciate. Oh, look at this guy giving the finger. I like watching Okada wrestle. How's that? Look at fake Scott Steiner behind him, too, also flipping everybody off. I like that. There he is. There's Scott Steiner and Okada, just as we all planned it for Forbidden Door. That dude went all in, huh? Can we put that up one more time, Don? Dom, can we put that up again? That picture? This dude has the chainmail. I actually might have seen this guy when I was walking in the building. He's got the chainmail and he's got the Steiner beard. Wrestling cosplay at its finest right there. If I remember correctly, he was walking in with a woman who also had chainmail on. So I guess it was a 2-for-1 sale on chainmail. Shout out to them. But Okada wrestling. Okada, Tanahashi, always nice to see. It's a little unfortunate that at this point, and he's just done so much, Tanahashi's not at the level he used to be. And that's his body breaking down. He's also the president of New Japan. By the way, the president of New Japan walks in and does business. He loses to Okada in a 6-man. And it was a little weird to just see Okada just take care of Tanahashi like that. Like, oh, no, here we go, finish, and we're done. Just knowing the battles that they've had. But Okada takes care of business, gets the win. I think they very intentionally didn't want the Acclaimed or the Bucks involved in the finish because we'll get to a tag team title match with those two teams at some point down the road. Elite had to win. They did it the right way. The Tanahashi taking the loss, Okada gets a win on the pay-per-view, and you still have, plenty of space to get to the Bucks and the Acclaim for the tag team titles. By the way, Tanahashi, I will give him credit. Whether it was this, whether it was being one of the boys for Dalton Castle, for a guy who's an all-time great, he absolutely will play ball. I appreciate that so much. I really, really enjoy that. He's one of the greatest. He's the president of the company. He's playing bass with the Acclaimed. He was one of the boys. He has fun with it. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette. And
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.